All right. And we are live. It's the end of the month. It's Friday. It's February 28th. So, on the end of the month, as something that was always a thing that I was doing for the end of the month, or actually, I'd always had on my calendar to do for the end of the month, but never actually really did at the end of the month, was to have a monthly reflections post. And this was mostly to talk about the things that I learned for my business and, kind of a self-reflection of the things that have taken place over the last month. And I think it's a good exercise. Gives me something to talk about on the last day of the month. So that makes show prep easy, right? So, of course, you got to think about it. What did you learn over the course of the last month? Well, of course, this last month, I checked my numbers. Apparently, for 5 straight weeks now, I've been doing this show. So 5 weeks. It's not bad. At least the consistency's there. The show might be bad. That might be true. But the consistency's there, and consistency is what's important. What I've learned is that the more I just set this time and get behind the mic and start talking, the easier it gets. It was always a situation where I would be, okay, can't put that up there. I just hit refresh on my Facebook screen and the live stream came up on my other monitor. I can't do that. That's going to be very confusing for me. All right. Back to the topic at hand. It's like, oh wow, there's me right at the top of my Facebook feed. Isn't that awesome? Anyway, so it's good to take stock of what you've accomplished, what you haven't accomplished. And 5 weeks of consistency at doing the show, I'm pretty proud of myself. I think I did a good job. I think I need to do a lot more with the show. Some of the things I've been working on is, getting ahead of my schedule so that, I can start scheduling guests, right? So I can send out notifications so that people will tune in when I'm doing the show, and to do a better job of a variety of topics to talk about, right? So I also am trying to get better at doing intros and outros and all that stuff. So hey, I'm Eric Tiemann, and this is Middays, Midlife in the Midwest. On Living Life and Style. We are brought to you by Living Life and Style. They are a travel agency, and they can help you with all of your travel needs. See how I'm getting better at it? Like, I'm just reading, I actually need to and that's part of, some of the things I've realized in my reflections for the month, and, which we'll get into in a minute. So, but at the end of the day, if you need any help with your travel, call Living Life and Style. They can help you out with that, whether it's business, personal, and leisure. Doesn't matter. They can help you with all of your arrangements. You can reach them at 816-744-1405. That's 816-744-1405. You can also find them on the internet at livinglifeinstyle.com, and that is spelled LIFENLI. Oh, hold on. LIF. I can't spell today. Whew. Let's try again. That is spelled LIVINLIFENSTYLE.com. Okay, so there we have it. So now back to the reflections on the month. I think I can check off the I'm being consistent box. So that's good. That is very important. I do need to do a better job of preparing some I need to do a better job of outlining the show before we do the show, right? So I spent most of the month finding interesting articles about travel, things going on in the travel industry, whether it be cool destinations, tips for cruising, tips for airfare, and air travel, things like that. And I like doing those. That was good. That was good. It gave me something. It was really, gave me it helped build a structure to what I was going to do with the show. Now, one of the next things that I want to do with the show is starting to add guests. I've got a friend of mine who has a show that he does about cars. I can't wait to get a hold of him and set some things up so he can be on this show. I've spoke with another gentleman. He happens to be my uncle, but we'll be kind, and another gentleman, and he is very knowledgeable about things like golf and you know um, just the finer side of life. So I'm looking forward to having him on, possibly as a regular. And I got to set up all of this schedule, and that's probably the next big thing, the next big hurdle I've got to get over is getting more prepared for my shows, so that I can do a better job of those shows, because this show is really at the heart of what I'm doing for marketing for the travel agency. Um, I've been advised to make sure that I keep my show separate from the travel agency, and for the most part, I'm going to do that. That's going to be part of what I'm changing as we move into the next month, is doing more, having a greater separation between middays, midlife in the Midwest, and living life and style. Living life and style will obviously still be the title sponsor of the show, but I want to be able to discuss more stuff than just travel. So I'm thinking I'm going to end up still putting up regular videos on living life and style, but they're going to be very travel focused. And then I'm probably going to move this show over to a more to a different channel, so that it's on it's a little bit more separated from living life and style. So that's kind of what I have in mind, as we get, and then I'll probably like have the videos from living life and style. I'll probably utilize those videos in the show. But the show is going to be something separate from the travel agency channel. And I'm going to expand on the platforms that I'm putting these videos out on. I've got a gentleman who's going to help me edit the video so I can condense some of these down into reels. And like I said, and then get ahead of my schedule so I can start getting guests on, people to talk to, people to interview. Matt's joined me a number of times, and we were both hoping that it could be a more regular thing, and it still may turn into that, but that just hasn't quite worked out with Matt's schedule like we had hoped. So Matt's going to be a recurring guest at the very least, and he quite possibly will be an all the time regular sort of thing as he can, but we'll just kind of play that out as we move forward. And I kind of had to roll with the punches on that, on how we were going to handle that. So so the idea is that I want to start scheduling regular guests and having them on the show, in whatever capacity they can make it work. And then I want to have guests from a variety of backgrounds. Obviously, I've been doing the business roundtable show at noon. That will likely stay on the Living Life and Style channel because it's so business oriented. And then on top of that, what was I going to say? Oh, I totally forgot. Just like totally left my brain. So, but the business roundtable show has been really good. We had 5 guests last week. I can't wait to where we get to the point where we have 10. It was real fantastic having everybody on the show and to talk about just we talked about business stuff, but we also talked this time I brought up hobbies, and that topic started to take off, but then Sandy brought in a great topic, and that kind of took the conversation in a different direction, and that's exactly what I'm hoping for with that show. So we look forward to that show continuing to grow. But as far as this show, like I said, there's a lot more that I want to talk about than just the travel stuff. And so that's why I think I need to separate the show from the travel channel. I still want the travel Living Life and Style channel or the Living Life and Style brand to sponsor my show. I'm still going to be putting out video on the Living Life and Style. I'm probably going to stick with the travel news thing. I've kind of enjoyed doing that. I know it's going to take some time to get some traction, but the more sources that I'm able to access, and just do the daily travel update from Living Life and Style, and I think I'm going to do that. And then I'll probably put out more produced videos since I have a gentleman who wants to help me with that. Kind of FAQ type videos, travel tips, that sort of stuff. Kind of taking some of the articles I read, and turning them into some sort of content and video. Yeah. So I think that's going to be kind of the direction that I start taking everything. So I've got to set up other channels and other platforms. That's going to be coming here over the weekend. I finally have a weekend. I finally have a weekend. There's no basketball. There's no baseball. We have practice on Sunday after late afternoon, so it's the end of the weekend. But basically, I have a free weekend to get stuff done. I have a basketball goal that I got to get put up. I've got a garage that I need to continue to clean out. And I have all of this stuff to do for the show that I got to get done so that it's ready to go by Monday. So I have a very busy weekend ahead of me. But I'm excited about all of it. We will be doing a cruise night event for the Signature One cruise on Tuesday at 7 p.m. If there's anybody out there that would be interested because they're interested to know what we might be doing on a cruise and what kind of things will be going on, by all means, you are welcome to join. And if you'd like some information on that, you can just email me at eric@livinglifeandstyle.com. You can call me at 816-744-1405. You can shoot me a message on Facebook. However, it's easiest for you to you can comment on the video and I'll reply to that too. Assuming I get the comment in time. But we're going to be doing that next Tuesday at 7:00. So if people would like to join to know more about the group trip, we can do that. That'll be a good time. So that is kind of what I as far as reflecting upon the month, that's kind of what I've come up with is, I'm really happy with the fact that I've been able to be very consistent at getting this video out there and doing this live stream on a regular basis. I'm very excited that, I'm feeling more comfortable at just talking. So that's good. And those are all things that I had to overcome as I, started the show. Cause I spent literally multiple years mulling this over. I can't start now because I have to get everything just right before I push out that first video. If I don't have the studio set up just right, if I don't have my mic set up, if I don't have this, if I don't have, exactly the kind of show that I want to have from show one, moving forward, then I'm not even going to start. And that, honestly, I'm 3 years behind, 2 years behind, whatever the number of years is, but it's multiple years. And I'm behind just because I let perfect be the enemy of good. Hell, I let perfect be the enemy of just trying. And so I couldn't do that. and that's why, I'm pretty happy that I've, gone a whole month. I've done a show every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. I've missed a couple. There were a couple, but I was able to set it up to where it did a replay for me. I had the system do a replay video for me so that, it could be watched. I'm pretty happy about that. I think I did a good job. And it's important to recognize that as you move through, and start a new endeavor. Take note of your wins. I get people, how many people are listening to your podcast? It's like, well, based on the numbers I see while I'm doing it, 0. I mean, obviously that's not what we want, but the show's going to grow as long as I keep it out there. People will start to, and you know what else it is? You know what else it is? It's not just being consistent about. I've got to go out here and talk about things that I care about. And yeah, I care about travel. I love to travel. My wife loves to travel. We love to travel together. We love to travel with friends. We love to travel with family. And we love all of those things, but I have other things that I'm passionate about. And those things have kind of started to come to my attention on my Facebook page, because I don't, I don't only talk about travel on my Facebook page. And I talk about things that I don't want to talk about on my show. But I also talk about things that I don't talk about on my show that I would like to talk about on my show, but it's not necessarily travel related, which is why it led me to think that maybe I shouldn't just do this show on my travel channel. So I think that is the plan. I think the plan will be that I will take Middays, Midlife in the Midwest, and I will move that over to my Eric the Head channel on YouTube, and I will also cast it on Rumble, and I also will probably cast it on X. And on that show, I'm going to talk about a lot of other stuff. I'm going to talk about things that I'm passionate about. So, for example, things that you've seen on my Facebook page, if you've been looking, that I have shared, those types of things are going to be things I talk about on my show on my other channel. Conversations that I get into with people online, people asking me questions that require long-winded answers. I know we don't always want to have long-winded answers, but I got news for you. Trying to type out a discussion on Facebook is tedious, time-consuming, and quite frankly, a waste of time. I'd much rather just talk to you about it. But being is how most people you interact with on Facebook really wouldn't have the fortitude to talk to you about it face to face, or even, person to person over, a podcast or a Zoom or a phone call. Definitely not person to person. A lot of those people aren't prepared to have those conversations in person, and they, and look, dude, I'm guilty of it too. I'm very much a fan of the snark in my comments on Facebook pages, right? But I believe that a lot of these conversations need to be conversations and not written exchanges. And so I'm going to invite people that I have discourse with on my Facebook page to join me to discuss it mano a mano, live, etc. I don't think I'll get too many people who will take me up on it, but then I'm going to start dropping the videos of my refutations of what they said on their comments, and we'll see where that goes. Basically, the thing I've decided as I did the daily travel update shows, and then I reflected upon, okay, well, that's what I've been doing, but what was it that you wanted to do with your show? And I want to have, other people involved in it. So if you're interested in being involved in it, I'm interested in knowing, because I would be interested in talking to you about joining the program in some form or fashion. But so what are the things that I wanted to do with my show? Well, I wanted to talk about Bitcoin. I got my Bitcoin miner. I've got it all almost set up, but I need to have a place for it to be plugged in and turned on and run. And I haven't set that up yet. So my Bitcoin miner is just sitting here. 3D printing. I love to do 3D printing as kind of just a little side hobby, and find cool little things, knickknacks and stuff to print. And I haven't done that either. I also have, well, I would move my camera to show you. Oh, here, let me just do it this way. Look. See? I have my guitar, my electric guitar here. It's all plugged into my system, ready to go, right? Ready to use. And one of the things I was going to do, because guess what? I don't know how to play guitar, but I want to be a better human. And I think that I'm like the only person in my family that can't play a musical instrument, like legitimately. I mean, my son, he plays drums, which, but he does it more than just banging an instrument. He's actually part of an orchestra. He plays percussions. I play no instruments. And I think that I want to show you can teach an old dog new tricks. Basically, I mean, at the end of the day, that's kind of what it boils down to. I think it's good for me to broaden my horizons and my skills and the things that I can do. And hey, at the end of the day, if we have zombie apocalypse and I learn how to play guitar, I could be a town minstrel, right? So, I mean, I have those things going for me. I also have, you know, um, games and other stuff that I enjoy. I like movies. I like sports, and all of these things are topics that I want to talk about, but I don't want to talk about necessarily too. It's like I don't want to be a sports talk host. I don't care about sports that much, but I do like sports. I'm actually pretty knowledgeable about sports. But and then there's also it's important, more serious topics I want to talk about too. Things like, um, education, raising children, marriages, um, important cultural items that I want to discuss. And I don't want my choice of topics to be limited by the scope of my travel business and my travel channel. That's why I'm going to move it. So I think what we'll end up doing is I will probably have a travel update as part of my live show that is on the Eric the Head channel. And then I will also have that as a daily live update on the Living Life and Style channel. Kind of kill two birds with one stone, cross promote, that sort of thing. And then I'll, also work on some other, FAQ type videos, using some pretty cool software that I have access to make the videos and, make some other content. So I think that's the way I'm going to move things. I'm like I said, I'm pretty much all certain that that's how things are going. I mean, I know that's how most of it's going to move. I don't necessarily know what all the details are going to be and how we're going to get that all ironed out. But that's the plan. It's been a really good month of February. It's not necessarily the best month in selling travel, but I believe I got a lot of stuff accomplished as it relates to building out my content, my channel. And one other thing. Also something that I've started rolling out, and I've started letting people know. I have not finalized all of my materials for it, and that will also end up being a video for the Living Life and Style channel. But if any of you know of any entities, any organizations that are looking to raise funds, Living Life and Style Travel is going to be rolling out a fundraiser program where you can generate revenue for your organization of choice by selling family vacations. They're big ticket items. I understand that, but at the same time, that also means that the payout that comes back um, to the organization is higher. So, um, I will be preparing like a video and a presentation that relates to all that stuff. That will be coming out real soon as well. So, like I said, I have a very busy weekend because I got a lot of this stuff I got to get set up so that I can roll it out next week. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm really happy with the month. It's been a very good month in some aspects, and in other aspects, I got to do better. But I really put a focus on getting this ball rolling this month. And I'm pretty happy with how it's gone so far. So, with that being said, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all of the things. Share this show with your friends. Let people know I'm doing it. I would really appreciate it. Any help you can get me by getting the word out about me doing this daily show, I would really appreciate it. My name's Eric Tiemann. This is Living Life and Styles channel. This is Middays, Midlife in the Midwest. Look for it on a separate channel next week. As I add the new channels, I will probably drop off other channels. That way, but I probably won't drop all of the channels we're currently on next week, but I'll probably be at it. I think Facebook's going to go away, and I'm probably going to add the new YouTube channel and a Rumble channel, and then eventually it'll be peeled off of this Living Life and Style channel, and I'll add X. I think is the way it's going to go. We'll see as I put all of the pieces together this weekend. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. It's supposed to be pretty gorgeous. I think it's supposed to dip a little bit in the temperature, but it's supposed to be pretty gorgeous all weekend. Gives us a chance to get some stuff done. I can get that basketball goal put up for my son and hopefully get the garage cleaned out also. You guys have a great weekend. I will see you guys Monday as I start rolling out a new chapter of the show, Middays, Midlife in the Midwest, brought to you by Living Life and Style. You can reach them at 816-744-1405. You can also find them on the web at livinlifeandstyle.com. That's livinlifenstyle.com. Once again, 816-744-1405. Have a great weekend, folks.